Hey guys, welcome back to another look at my new Snowrunner project, Outback Overlanding, which is going to be based on the Australian landscape. Right now, I'm just giving you guys a little look at a couple new spots that I've made over this week. The update will be coming on today, which is February 5th. There's a whole bunch of new trails. I've kind of added quite a bit to both sides of the map, so we have some more mudding, crawling, rock crawling, forested trail, and then I've also added to the outback area, which is a little more barren. I have snuck some mud into a few spots out there, so hopefully we're gonna fill everybody's wants with it. I had a few pretty good suggestions over the week on some of the videos about adding a few Australian spots that people really like, so I've been doing a little more watching. Tough job, I gotta watch a bunch of Australian 4x4ing as research, and I've been trying to work on a few spots. I've actually, and you'll see when we get down to the end of this trail, I've added my first attempt at putting in the Gunshot Creek drop, which I don't have it perfect yet, but you guys will see here in a few minutes that it's the basics are there. It's gonna take a bit more work and a bit more playing around to make it look a little closer, but I think I've got it pretty decent so far. And then after that, we're going to be doing a little bit of a run up on one of the cliff tops, one of the new trails I added for this update that will be kind of skirting along the side of the outback area. Today we're using the new, I believe it's the Azuzi 7 BBBBB, something like that is his name. First mod I've tried from him, but I'm quite impressed with this little machine. Pretty good balance. We'll slam it through the rocks here and see how things go, but I'm quite impressed with it. It looks good, it drives good. It's another machine that looks right at home out here in the outback Australian terrain. So one suggestion I got recently was to mix up some mud and rocks into the same kind of trail, give a little more variation. This trail you're looking at here is kind of my first little experiment into it on this map. I think I'm going to try and mix a little bit of everything over on this side. The outback side's going to be just a little bit more, I don't know, more barren, but I'm going to put in some mud pits and all that kind of stuff to keep you guys busy. But this side is going to hopefully mix in some more of that. Up here you'll see a nice little spot where we go down in a gully with some rocks and that, so let me know what you guys think of this little section. I also want you to keep in mind that this is going to be for trucks more like this, more on the realistic side of things. You'd probably whip through here pretty quick in some of the OP trucks, but some people enjoy that too. There's nothing wrong with that. I have been asked quite a few times, I'll make sure there's some pretty deep mud pits and areas and stuff. You guys can find them. There'll be stuff that can stick a truck right down there and stop it cold. So don't worry about there not being any fun for the overpowered vehicles. Along here, let me know if you guys want to see a little heavier rock crawling or not. I will have tougher trails that are just going to be stacked with rocks. They probably won't be super long because again, it's all a balance of how many things you have in the world and how taxing it is on systems and stuff. So even the rocks, you'll see they don't go very far out beside the trails, but I just don't want to waste all the memory in that on adding too many things. So bear with me, it is what it is, but I just put a lot of plants in, I put a lot of rocks, a lot of all that, and it's all going to add up. So just the balance I'm trying to hit here. We are just coming up to another little mud area, a little bit of rocks. I could probably, I don't know, I wanted to spread them out here. You don't want to just be smashing through them the whole time, so let me know. It's kind of up to you guys too. I want to make this fun for all of us. I can do lots of stuff. I just need everyone to keep me on the right track, basically, is what I'm looking for with this build. that's why I've decided to kind of put it out there, and you guys can play it as you go and try it out, basically doing test runs for me. And if there's things you want to see different or improved or changed or added, it's the options there as I build, because once it's done, it'll be done, and I'm not gonna go back into tearing it apart too much. I've always found it tough to go back to an old map. It just, once it's done with, the inspiration's kind of gone, and just trying to figure out what your mindset was when you're building, it's all pretty tough. So I did want to let you guys know that I'm going to be looking at some of my older maps that are still having issues. I know there's the few maps that have those exclamation marks that are showing up instead of bushes, so I just need to go back and figure out which model in the distribution I've used is missing from the game now, is usually what that means. The game's calling for a certain model, it's not in the file, so it puts up that error. I think it shows me that in the editor, so I should be able to figure it out. But if anyone can think of the maps offhand that are having that issue, I know the Highway Holland region definitely has that. I've seen the pictures, so something that I am aware of, and I'm going to try to start working on it here. So right now we're pulling up to the Gunshot Creek drop-in. Now I put 2 of them because I saw in some of the videos there's a couple different ones. We'll see a drop-in here. Like I said, I still gotta kind of make it a little more stuff to it. I'm not sure how to say it. I'd probably make it a little steeper. The one on the other side is taller. I don't know, I just chose this one. And then the creek, I think I've got a little bit too big, but hey, if you guys just like it the way it is, I can just kind of play around with it a bit more and add a bit more life into it. But I think the basics are there. We just gotta keep working at it, and it's another feature. I know everyone loves it, so we'll see. Let me know how it goes. You guys, as I said, will get to play all this in the update. Hopefully it gets through for consoles a little quicker. Last week it took till Friday, but so be it. There's not really much we can do about it. So now we're heading over here to the other side of the map. This is an original spot right here. We're in John Hot Rod's Baja. It's a fun little truck. I like it. Again, using the stock tires, lifted suspension, trying to keep it somewhat real. We're going to drag a trailer through here. I think that's Pogue's trailer, but I'm not totally sure. I apologize. Just adds to the fun around this map, bringing some stuff around. You're probably going to bring a little extra fuel on your runs here, because I think I'm going to just mainly leave the fuel at the town, and then I'm guessing we'll probably end up adding a task or something to maybe open a fuel station out in the outback. I'm still considering, oh, there's a tree in the middle of the road. Perfect. We'll have to adjust that later on. I'm still thinking about trying to add the flooded town scenario into it over at the far end of the outback area. It could be a good excuse to haul some cargo out there. Yeah, it'll be definitely something you'll have to figure out which way you want to go, because all the trails are going to be pretty tough. So when you're hauling cargo, it could get interesting, but that's the whole point of what we're doing here. So this is right along the top of the cliff, on the other side of the outback area that I put in the other video, and it's kind of a cliff peak. On the left is the tree, green, grassy, muddy area, and call it kind of a divide over to the outback area. So this is going to get progressively harder as you get further in here, but again, none of it should be ridiculous, but it's going to challenge the driving skills, and that's what we're going for. I'm probably about halfway done this map now. I'd say I'm right around 50% of the world built. Now that doesn't include the time it's going to take me to add all the tasks and all that fun stuff into the map, but once I get rolling on those, they usually only take a couple of days. You got to get the thoughts flowing, and I do have some ideas, and I'm always open to more. You guys have been throwing out lots of great ideas to to add into the world, so I was just kind of correlating them and figuring out what I can do with what. Let me know what you guys think of this trail. This is going to be, it'll take you down to the far end of the map, so technically if I do this flooded town scenario by the river, this is one of the trails you could take across with some cargo. Again, I'd see probably for the most part it being 1 and 2 slot loads. I mean, there's going to be roads you could take some of the bigger trucks in, especially the modded trucks can handle some pretty good off-roads. I'll probably do a couple big pulls, maybe some generator things, stuff like that. Myself, I never really enjoyed the crafting, so I've never actually used it in my maps, but let me know what you guys think on that. I think predominantly most people aren't too hot on the crafting thing. Now, mind you, if I were to put it in there, it wouldn't be doing 100 different trips to the same spot. I think I could use it a little more cunning than that, just as a few small things, but it's something I haven't played with. I'd have to read through the old manual to figure it all out at this point because I haven't used it, but definitely willing to do it if you guys are interested in something like that. I'm not sure if do you guys want to see any logging put into this? I could probably work it in somehow. I know we can do some pine tree stuff, maybe a nice little tree farm type area, but unless you guys are sick of it and it just doesn't really go with what this map's trying to do, that's a fine too. Just kind of hashing out ideas on what we can do for contracts and stuff, and what you guys are thinking you want to see. I do want this to be more focused on trailing. I've never put out a real heavy trailing map at this point. Like I'm me of all people not going to put a paved road other than the one in town on this map. Figured it's about time to get back to the old off-road routes with this one, and Australia is just classic for the red dirt, the dirt roads, the eroded terrain and that, and I really want to focus on it. One other thing I'm going to change is I got to find a better weather cycle. This is the Michigan one, which I kind of like the orange sunset for this map, but it rains quite a bit, so I don't know if that puts you guys off on it at all. I do like the orange sunset for the region, but I don't like that it constantly, I think every second afternoon in the cycle it rains pretty hard. So anyways guys, thanks a lot for your time. This is what's coming today, and I'll hopefully have some fun stuff to show you for next week. Take it easy.